What up, what up, what up, tribe? It's your girl TJ. I'm moderating this episode. Not sure what we're going to call it yet, but we talking about money. Money, 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 money.
Hey.
Money.
Oh.
All right, so let me introduce my tribe. What up, introvert boogie? Say what's up to the people.
Peace, everybody. Peace and love, tribe. Just here getting better every day, man. Living life and just loving it. Peace, y'all.
Yes. And Mash, spew God, drip, drip. Don't forget the drip, drip.
Nah, never, ever. Peace. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mash, a.k.a. Spew God, a.k.a.
Drip, drip.
Yeah, I like how
See that?
I like how Mo don't miss a beat no more. Mo be on there like the background cue and shit. Like,
nah, don't play my girl.
That's
don't
me.
play my girl.
That's
Don't play my
me.
girl. Gang.
See.
Sir Drip, we here. What's good, everybody?
And I'm gonna take it over to my number 3. Everybody's been giving her number 3, so I go ahead and give it to her.
I don't see why not.
That's my
It's my
number.
bestie.
exactly.
Don't label
Say
perverts
what's
as
up to
having
the
the
people,
middle seat.
Mo.
Like the middle
Nah,
seat,
they don't have
What's-
a middle
Perverts
seat
like the middle
fetish.
seat because they get to be able to argue over the arm. They should be able to touch
Whatever.
somebody. I'm telling you.
Hi, tribe. It's your
Yes.
girl Mo
Say what's up.
from the BX. Of course, I represent the Bronx all day, every day. Section 5.
Get it. And I'm gonna take it over to the Flash, the philosopher. What's up, Flash? How you doing today?
What's up, my frosty friend? What's going on? What's
I
going
love
on,
that.
tribe? Yo, I'm gonna just say, like, I'm not a fan of the military either, and I realized this the other week when I flew, and
When'd you
There
fly?
was a-
Where'd you fly, bro?
I was flying from, I think this was from New York to Atlanta.
Mhm.
But the lady next to me, she decided it was a great idea to like fall asleep on my shoulder, and she was
Oh.
old and shit, so I didn't kick her off on my shoulder, but I
It's
realized
COVID.
I get it. Like, she had a mask on.
She had a
but
mask on, probably.
Yeah.
So
I'm
She
just
had,
saying.
no
well,
chance,
she had,
dog.
wait,
No
pause.
chance,
Did she have a beat face? Did she leave a mascara on your fucking shirt?
Nah. She was
Foundation.
old. It wasn't a lot of makeup.
foundation.
I think my
You're a
shirt was
nice
dark
guy.
anyway, so I'm good. No, I really am, because you know what's crazy? I met a friend actually by falling asleep on her shoulder before. Like, I was tired. This is when I was coming back from Miami one time.
That's
So
cat.
you're
One friend
paying
again.
it
Now I
forward.
tried to bag her. Fuck out of here.
So you're paying it forward.
Yeah, pretty much. I give a shoulder for a shoulder. But yeah, what up, tribe?
Let's
all right. What's up, Flash? Last but not least, I'm gonna take it over to my favorite fuckboy in the entire world. What up, Shake? The
Yeah,
Wanderer.
Shake is in the house. It's your boy Shake. Unlike Flash, this old lady put her whole head on my shoulder. I would have mushed that hoe. Get off me, lady.
COVID, straight up.
So
Word.
disrespectful.
Word.
COVID.
Lay on the window, okay? Lay on the
Facts.
window. I feel like she was on the window side, bro. Like on the window. Anyhow, yeah, what up, tribe? I'm here, ready to have a good episode. And can I introduce my word of the day real
Of
quick?
course, that's why I asked you for last.
Thanks, Boo. Okay, so today's word of the day is capricious. Okay,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
capricious meaning given sudden or unaccountable changes of mood and behavior. Given to
Nice.
sudden and
Oh, that's
unaccountable
me.
changes of mood and behavior. The sentence that they have on 5. I gotta start making my own sentences. It's terrible to feel our livelihood hinges on a capricious boss. Like, it's somebody who has mood changes, somebody who changes moods really quickly.
And what's the word?
Spell it.
The word it's capricious.
Capricious.
I'm sorry. C.A.P.R.I.C.I.O.U.S. Capricious.
All right.
Yo, if you gave me this shit in the spelling bee, I'd be done.
For
Yeah.
real. I mean, Shake knew the word.
That
He
was pretty
started with a
easy.
K. He said K.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
like,
K.
oh,
Wait.
shit.
That
Shut-
nigga
cut
would
that
have
out.
been finished
Cut
first
that
round.
out.
Let me
Flash.
get
First
that.
round.
Let me
Cut
get
that
that
out.
word one more time, just so we can get this word of the day
Yeah,
popping
that's-
for real.
that'd
be
Hold on. Apologize.
C.A.P.R.I.C.I.O.U.S. I would have been able to spell that.
I mean,
Capricious.
and the spelling bee, nah. I'd have took an L on that one.
Okay.
What are we looking at in terms of the definition for this word and all that?
Well,
It's sudden changes in mood and behavior. Like so like for instance, moody people who kind of like just flip on you. Like one
Like
minute they could be
sometimes
like,
I am capricious. correct?
I would say that, yes.
Oh, okay. Capricious. Okay, so capricious.
So that's one for Boogie already.
Yeah, so Boogie's taking tally today. We're gonna play a little game. If you guys are listening in your cars,
Yo, that is
you don't have to do it in your car, but if you get around some friends and you're listening to the episode, or if you're by yourself, I want you to have a little drink, and it could be whatever you want in your cup. If you smoke, it could be a little spliff. Every time you hear the
It's not
word
little. It's not
capricious, it's not
You
little.
taking a shot?
It's
You
not
taking
little.
a shot?
Yes, you're gonna have a sip
Nice.
of whatever you have. So that's why I asked everybody to bring a cup of whatever to this episode. Everybody got their cups? Cheers.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
No.
I brought
Whatever.
I
Whatever.
got my cup.
Whatever. Okay,
don't
Mash,
have
you're
nothing
double
in it.
fisted. Okay. So Mash has a little spliff or something and a cup.
Uh-huh.
And so
I got
every time you
water.
hear the
I would
word,
definitely drink that.
whatever you have. It could be tea, water, a drink. It's whatever. So if you're listening at home, you're with your group of
Nice.
friends, every time you hear the word, you're going to have a sip. They do that on the show Andy Cohen. I thought
They
it was really
sure
cool.
do.
Oh, they drink every
And
time.
Boogie is
stealing
going to be
that
taking
shit.
a tally of how many times we use the word. So let's try to use that word as much as we can in the episode.
Okay, cool.
Hey, can
All
I,
right.
like, I don't know, can I add a rule? Like, well,
What's the rule? Go ahead.
that ain't a rule because
Let's hear
I definitely feel like you keep the points up, but you definitely take a shot if you fuck up the word in the sentence.
I
Like, if you
agree.
use it wrong,
I
you should
agree.
take a shot. You should take an
drink
L
if
for
you
that.
use it, or you should drink if you
Don't be
fuck
just
it
saying
up.
capricious 5 times and
Wait.
act like you say in a sentence.
Wait, hold on. So if I say the word capricious, everybody else got to take a shot?
No. If
No.
you say he's basically saying if you say if you also
use it
use
wrong,
it
you take a
incorrectly,
shot.
you will take a shot as well.
But we're all gonna
Independently.
sip.
Alrighty,
We're all
fine.
sipping. We're all gonna sip.
We're all
today.
sipping. Everybody says.
Whoever,
The name
if
of the
someone
game, we
says
all
it,
gonna be
we all
drunk at that
sip.
anyway. That's the name of the game.
Got it.
All right. So have fun
Alright.
with us at home, guys. And if you don't have your burner question cards, get your burner question cards
Oh,
out.
Awesome.
Shit, I need to get mine too. I just said that. See, I'm not even
I'm
prepared.
ready.
But we're not gonna go there first though. How about we start off the episode and then what's up? What's up, Shay?
We should do you, well, while everybody's getting their burner question cards, I just want to ask you one question, right? I like this girl I was talking to. She said, like, I was talking to her this weekend, and she was telling me that, you know, that she doesn't keep a TV in her room, and she's like, the reason why she doesn't keep the TV in her room is because she won't get out of bed, and she'll stay in the bed all day, and she won't like get up and like move around, especially on like days off. Me personally, I like the TV in my room because I like to be able to watch the news in the morning while I'm getting dressed. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, that's like part of my morning routine. Do you guys have anything against TVs in the room? Like,
I don't.
You
I personally don't, but I do know several people who do not have a TV in their room.
I feel like
You think it's
TV's
a
no place in
flag?
the bedroom.
But I need a TV in my room because I feel the
I feel
same.
like
Me
it's
too.
distracting.
I
I feel
want
like
to
it's
get up. I
distracting.
want to listen. I want to look at the weather. I want to do that. But but a lot of people don't have TV in their rooms. It's quite a few people.
I got a TV, and I always kept the TV in my room. It never prevented me from getting out of bed. I don't know
Me
why
too.
you said all that whole story.
Never prevented me either.
You could just call your homegirl lazy, bro, and that's.
That's what you think.
No, I think she's aware of her distractions, and so she's
Distraction,
trying to
yeah.
eliminate her distractions. I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, I think for
some
some people,
And remember,
some
people
may
could
need
binge watch Netflix shows like a motherfucker. Like you could
Yeah.
watch
Real
those
shit.
episodes
And
and
stay in
pass
their bed all
motherfucking day.
day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm be honest with you. I have-
But there's some days that I've stayed in my bed all day, you know. But that's
Me
just like-
too.
yeah, like I've had a day.
Oh,
where I'm like,
you have
I'm
a
not
right to
gonna
that. I'm
do
talking
nothing,
about,
but you have a
every
right
day.
to stay in my bed all
But
day.
But I feel like you know, I think making an effort to get out of bed is necessary.
Mhm.
I feel like it would like push me forward, especially on days that I don't really have to do anything. Like
Yes.
I kind of to be
Right.
able to get out of the bed and sit down. I think it will force you into movement. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rather than
Yeah.
You
staying
need
in
to
the
keep
bed.
active. You need to keep
Yeah.
active. Oh shit.
Well, let's not get sidetracked.
But whenever you're ready, Tiff.
I've been ready. So the only reason why you should have a TV in the bedroom related to this episode. So related to this episode is if you're watching like, what is it? What are those finance channels? CNBC,
Yeah.
Cheddar News. What other financial news comes out?
I like
MSNBC?
Cheddar too. I like Cheddar. I think Cheddar is mad
Yeah,
entertaining.
Yahoo
Yo,
Finance.
Am I the real one that just watches everything on their phone? like I just use the weather app, all
I
that.
do too.
I keep
I
it
do
pushing.
too.
I use the
I
weather
do
app
too.
too.
I feel like my
I
phone is low key replaced my TV in some instances.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk.
I was just trying to like transition us out of TV into finance.
Oh,
Is that okay?
pardon me.
Oh,
Iceman. Go
okay.
ahead, do
Let's
your
get
thing.
it.
That's the only reason why for this episode,
Wait,
related to this episode. Go
I
ahead,
just want to
Nash.
say one
Say
thing
what
about
you gotta say,
TVs.
baby.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. I know. I thought I
No,
missed
I
my moment to
can't.
talk about
Oh my
TV.
God.
Go
ahead,
ahead.
go
Talk
ahead.
about TV.
Nah, you got your time. Go ahead.
My fault. I think people like. I understand when people like TVs in their room, but I feel like for me, it wasn't until I like got a bigger space that I was open to having a TV not in my bedroom. I was forced to have a TV in my bedroom because I had a space. All I had, everything was in that little space.
Mm,
Yeah.
But once I upgraded my space, I didn't feel like I had a need to keep a TV in that space anymore.
Real talk.
But I think that's something to keep in mind too. Like that's why people are
Yeah.
just inclined to have TVs in their room because that's what they used to.
Facts.
I feel like as
would
a, I
send
just
my
remember
kids
as a
to the room to
kid,
watch.
Okay.
Yeah, go watch
when
the
I, like
cartoons
playing
in your
video
room.
games, I had a
Yeah.
TV in my bedroom as a
Yeah,
kid. I
go do
forgot
that
about
shit on
that
your
moment.
TV.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just want
All
to
right.
get that. Okay.
Nah, you good.
Today we're talking about money, financial literacy, the price. What else is with money? How you get paid, salaries. So
Your morals. Apologies,
yeah.
going too deep already.
We delving
Man.
deep today. We delving deep
Morals.
today.
We may
Okay.
get to that. We may get to that. So I wanted to start off by giving you guys a definition of financial literacy. So according to CNBC, it's defined as the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills, including personal financial management, budgeting, and investing. Financial literacy is the foundation of your relationship with money, and it's a lifelong journey. Would you guys agree with that definition?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was too long for me to kind of disagree with it. So yeah.
Okay. What was too long about it?
Nah, I just fuck with you.
Okay. All right. So in 2019, I found this statistics from CNBC too, and I thought I wanted to share this with you guys because it talks about the racial financial gap that we have, right? So it's in 2019, the median wealth of Black households in the United States was $24,100 compared to $189,100 for white households.
Mm.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That our racial wealth gap is that large? That's the median for white
What?
versus Black.
But
Why does that shock you?
It does shock me because I'm just like, wow, that gap is really large. 24,000 compared to 189,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, race.
That's
that's about right because
But go ahead.
I know I'm saying that's about right because you know we were left out of the conversation when it comes to financial literacy or financial anything for
Financial
years.
opportunities.
Exactly.
I mean, just
financial
the knowledge and
opportunities for
education was
years.
never made available to us. So many reasons why there's a gap like that.
I mean, to be honest with you, they don't teach knowledge. They don't really teach.
We're gonna
this
get to
education
that
in schools like that. Period. However,
We're actually going to get to that.
If your parents are well versed in it, they can also teach their children to be well versed in it. So I think it's more that they're passing information down that we don't have. You know what I mean? And we have to kind of like go out of our way to get this information that is given to their kids at a young age.
Yeah.
As far as starting a savings account for them.
A savings account for them. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Flash?
Yeah. Go ahead, DJ.
I was actually going to mention a statistic because I know, Shake, you be trying to mention your statistics all the time and not be 100% accurate.
Shake facts.
Shake facts. I know that's where you was going with it. So I was going to say, actually, in some states, they do require high school students to take a personal finance course. And that percentage, yes. And that's how I was going to say. That's why I was like, let me stop you because they're requiring it now. And that has increased by 24% since 2018. That's so from 2018 to now, that's also increased by 24%. So that's pretty cool. I also have some other statistics that I'll share with you guys. So 4 out of every 7 Americans are financially literate, and only 24% of millennials understand basic financial topics. those are just some statistics that I found.
I mean, but what is your definition of financial literacy? Like bare minimum? Like how much do you have to really know in order to qualify as financially literate? You know?
I think this was based on a statistic on a survey that they did and asked specific financial literacy questions, maybe about budgeting, management, financial management, and investing. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I wanted to kind of just talk to you guys today about money. Like, what was your first memory of money and what were you taught about money? And I'll go first. I think for me, the first recognition or recollection of money I had was birthday parties. Like you would get money in the card and you're like, oh my God, I got money. I got $20 from grandma. I got, for Christmas, I got, $10 from this friend or whatever. And my mom would say, save your money for something that you want, and I remember that money would be for things that my mom would not buy me. Like if she didn't want to buy me a toy, or she'd be like, all right, you saved your money. You want this doll? We're going to get your money. Let's go to the store. Let's get that doll. So that was my first recollection of using money and my mom trying to like instill saving in my brain. And I also remember going to the bank with her and playing with the little papers that you could deposit money in and like filling those out. And she taught me how to do that. She taught me how to write a check. And that's what I remember. What about you guys? Okay. So that was a question for you guys. Like, what was your earliest memory of finances?
Mo was about to answer.
So
is that the signal? I like that. That's a signal.
Go somebody else go.
Oh, I didn't know that. Go ahead. Nah, I do.
Yo, you triggered me when you said that, TJ, because you touched on something special or something dark for me. My first memory of money, I used to think money was white because we used to have food stamps. Yeah, we used to have food stamps. So that my idea of money looked completely different when I first think about my first memory of money.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But money can be a lot of different things. But I think that my first understanding of dealing with my own money would be credit cards when I got into college.
We're gonna get to that too.
That's probably my first instance of like dealing with money, like knowing like there's significant problems when you don't pay this money back. Like you need to fucking understand how this will affect you big picture. That's when I started understanding what money was.
Got you. Fortunately, fortunately, I learned about credit cards really early, and I was never really one of the dudes that got myself in a situation where I could not pay it back. I always made sure I maintained my credit cards. That's why my credit has been pretty. I'm not gonna say it hasn't been bad. It hasn't been great, but it has been like terrible. I've never like fallen like into really bad credit. But my first memory of money was when I was a kid. When I was like 12, my cousin had $130. And when I tell you we stretched the fuck out of this money, we bought outfits. We went to the movies.
$100?
Yeah, $100.
Where did you get this clothes from? Conway?
It was like 93, and we bought ourselves 2 sets of cross colors. We bought like just a shirt and shorts. You know what I'm saying? But like I used to think $100 was so fucking much when I was young. Like that shit used to be like, give me $100. But now, like I've been like $100. Like I spend that shit in the evening. Like it's you know what I'm saying? $100.
I spend that shit at the Target visit. Every time I go to Target, I drop it $100.
Yes, Target. Always
real talk.
Oh, you pronounce it Target too?
That's how you're supposed to pronounce it.
Nah, Target, dog. Don't start that. That's how you supposed to.
It's fucking Target. Anyhow, yeah, I that's my earliest really, like I used to think money was so much, but as I got older, I need more and more and more, and I have an understanding of basically the fact that we have to kind of control our finances, even as we grow money, because if you're not careful, you're basically spending the same amount you had been spending, except now the money is readily available to you. So you gotta like control that. So I don't want to move it along too fast, so I'll let somebody else go.
Yeah,
it's never that Shake. Go ahead, bro.
Shake, I feel you in terms of like when you put a lot of influence on money, it can make you feel capricious. because it could change it. Yeah, you could feel capricious if you put a lot of.
I feel like that word. Yeah, that word.
Now I was reaching.
Yeah, he was trying. He was trying.
I give it to you because.
So we all take a sip. Everybody took a sip. If you're listening at home, take a sip.
I thought you said it wrong. I ain't even gonna hold you. I had to go check.
No, he did, but the fact that none of us actually said it right,
no,
you're right.
Gotta give him props for trying first.
Definitely.
I take that.
Anybody else have a memory of money that they want to share?
I have a memory of money in terms of I feel like that was my first time understanding my impatience. I think it was similar to Shake. I was a kid and I got my first $100 bill or whatever, right? And I'm thinking I hit the lotto because again, it's not like I'm getting dollars every day. At like 6 or whatever years old I was, but my mom's was trying to tell me about the bank, like putting money in the bank and saving it. And I'm like, I understand it. Sure, saving the money, using it for later. But I'm like, yo, I got that money now. It's mine. Let me use it now. You know what I mean? Like I guess I didn't I guess as a kid, it made me realize like there was just, she was trying to tell me something about money and I clearly understood it, but I didn't understand why I needed to go with it in terms of me, like, wanting to spend money now versus saving it for later. So that's something as a kid I remember, just my impatience with money and how important it is to kind of have patience, not rush to just spend shit as soon as you get it.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I say for me, my first encounter, even I guess what knowing money was, I didn't get like money in cards and shit like that as a kid or whatnot, but I think I understood money from having a conversation with my mom one time, and it's like, I guess it's around the age where she trying to break the news to me, like, nigga, Santa don't exist, and she had to tell me like, Mama be buying these gifts, and this is the reason why you can't get no gift this year.
How old were you, Flash?
Yeah,
Facts.
I don't know, bro. I don't want to go back. That's trauma. I don't want to go
back. This nigga was mad traumatized when his mom broke the news.
You should know. Y'all should know.
Yeah, mom ground me for trying to crack that reality too, telling you Santa Claus not real. She ain't got no right to do that, man.
I want all the praise, nigga.
Yeah, she did. She was buying
I got you these GI Joe.
Right. Some parents don't want Santa, the big white fat man taking their credit. That's money. That's money that got to go into giving you that gift. And from having that conversation, because it was like a real, I felt like I was having an intervention, because she brought all of us in the room and she was like, I have something to tell y'all. And it was like, what? You've been buying gifts? Like who's eating the cookies? And it was a whole shit. But
wait, she did a meeting with y'all?
Yo, let me
she
ask
did
you
a family meeting?
Yo, Flash. When you was young enough to like have the Santa experience, where was you living?
We was in the projects.
All right. So where'd you leave the cookies for Santa in the projects? By the stove?
You see what I'm saying about this trauma, nigga?
Yeah.
I know I didn't have a chimney, nigga.
You bring out the
PTSD,
PTSD. It's okay. You don't have to speak about it if you don't want to.
No. I'm serious because I want to know like how we apply our reality to that fantasy.
Right. So in the projects, we just left it in the living room because we was like, I don't want the nigga coming in my room. So you put it in the living room. So I never thought, what's crazy? We was so poor. I wasn't thinking like chimney. He would have to come out chimney. My mom was like, well, he just get in how he get in.
That nigga come down the incinerator.
But there was no common sense to Santa whatsoever. Like when you really think about it, a fat white man riding reindeer in the air, slides down through a roof, fits in through that roof, and drops presents, takes cookies, and leaves. There's no logic to that shit at all when you really think about it as an adult.
Like I said,
magic,
Santa ain't come to the projects. Okay, just know that much.
Magic.
And, but I digress though, because having that conversation with her made me understand the importance of money, and my mindset since then was that like, yo, we gotta afford things. And that's kind of what put me in a mindset of like always like look for whatever hustle you got to get to or means of money, because if you don't get money, you can't afford certain things for people, especially like the ones you love. So that's like my first encounter with like money. And ever since I was young, I can definitely say like I was always trying to find like either a job or a hustle or something. Something was always going to make me money. And that's like where I learned why money was important for me.
We're going to get to that. Did everybody go?
Yo, Flash, would you say that your mom, that you guys believe in that Santa brought you out a gift made your mother capricious?
Oh, you was just trying. You was just reaching,
No,
reaching.
I feel like we need a vote on that one. We need a vote on that one. I don't know. That's just
You reaching.
everybody
You can give him
reaching.
the point. Give him the point, and everybody have a drink.
Give me the point. Give me my
drink.
point. Okay. Or I'm gonna tell you right now, I never believed in Santa Claus. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a nigga that looked at the fucking the Toys R Us book.
Oh yes,
Christmas.
and I circled everything
used to
you
come
wanted
out,
and shit.
and I would look at shit, be like, I ain't never getting this, I ain't never getting that, but I would love this shit.
Oh, man.
It is what it is. You know,
Well,
my mom would try to
mentioned-
get one of them shits though, but I wasn't getting all the things I wanted. It's real.
Flash, you mentioned something really important. You said you would find a hustle. So that was my next question. How old were you when you had your first job?
I'll start because I didn't.
Let Flash answer because he started it.
Okay, I didn't get to answer the last question.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, so go ahead and answer.
Oh,
Go ahead and answer,
You're
Mo.
definitely not gonna play vote like that. Hell
What was
no.
that? And I asked, but I think everybody was talking. So what?
Oh, she did. No, she
what's
did ask if anybody else had something to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mo,
and
what's
I
your?
shook my head no, but
Okay.
Oh, so you don't want to share it?
Go
You don't
ahead.
wanna
no, I
share
said
it?
I shook my head that I did not.
But I can't
speak.
see. I mean, you could go ahead and just say it.
Mhm.
What's your
No, but we
earliest
already
memory
went
on
to
money?
No, I could go to the next topic.
Mo, if you don't tell us what your first
Thank you. What's your
What you
earliest
say, Mo?
memory?
You
Yeah.
interrupted
My
that
first
for
experience
me.
with money is like everybody, you write it, you learn how to write a check.
Who taught you?
My mom taught me that.
Okay, I thought that would be Pops because Pops is like
No,
good with
my mom,
money
my mom,
and
my mom taught me how to write a check from what from my recollection. Definitely my mom. And I just remember like, like I remember when I got like my first credit card and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure
we're gonna go to that too.
So I won't touch on that too much, but I definitely know my mom is the one that taught me to write a check because I would go to the bank with her and stuff too. I always go to the bank with her. And, you really don't know. When you're young, you're just going to the bank with your parents or whatever, but you don't know like what's the real thing they're doing in the bank. Depositing money or taking out money and stuff like that.
But you knew it really revolved around money.
Yeah, you don't have the full concept of what it was. So that was my first little.
So go ahead, since you're talking. When did you get your first job? How old were you?
When I had my first job, I was out of high school, so I was either 18 or 19, and I actually had two jobs. I worked for the Board of Ed, and I worked for the movie theaters at the same time.
Hustling.
That's
Can you talk like not to get
start.
into your shit, Mo, but why did you have to work two jobs at 19 as your first job? That's like
right. I worked for the DOE from 7 to 3, and then I worked at the movie theaters from maybe like 4 to close. I closed and then got up the next morning and worked from the DOE from Monday to Friday. Then I work on the Monday, throughout the days for the movie theater and on the weekend for the movie theater.
Do you remember what minimum wage was for you, or what were you getting? What was your pay?
I think it was $5.15 or something like that for the movie
Wow.
theater.
Okay.
I think it was something like that for the movie theaters, and I don't even remember why I worked two jobs.
Jobs.
Yeah, I think my mom got me into the DOE thing, and then my father's friend, my pops, his friend worked at the movie theater, so it was like, I guess it came through at the same daggone time. So I was like,
he was like, I could do both. I need the money
anyway.
anyway.
Figure out how to do both.
Thanks.
And Matt, I'm lying. I was in college. I was a freshman in college because I did that when I came for the summer. When I came back home for the summer. Yes, those were my summer jobs.
Okay.
Those are my.
And you was buying your Vansons and stuff like that. Your clothes.
My Vanson. I had my Vanson in high school.
Where did your money come to? Where did your money go to?
At that point, my money was because I was in high school, so my money was going. I think it was going in the bank at that time, and I was buying like my little work clothes because I had to look. I had to wear my clothes for the DOE skirts and my shirt, and then the movie theater people wore uniforms, so that was good. But you still had to buy like your uniform for the movie theater. But that was it. I had my uniform, and then I buy my clothes, whatever I want. I would use it to go out to eat, go do whatever I want to do with my friends. So that's what my money was being spent on at the time. But now I look back, I'm like, why the hell was I working two damn jobs? But started early.
Crazy.
Yep.
Word.
Like a Caribbean parent, like a Jamaican parent. My mother's Jamaican, so I guess I took after her.
It's like they probably told you, they're probably telling you when I was young, I had 3 jobs.
Well, my mother was working 2 jobs too at the time. So
matter of fact, maybe I'm wrong because I feel like your first job, you probably want all you making money for the first time for yourself. Because I remember thinking even my first job was at McDonald's, and I'm acting like I wouldn't work 2 jobs, but I worked a lot of hours at McDonald's. I probably would have worked more to the point where I was probably working a similar shift to you. So I guess it was just there was a thirst. You know, when
money.
you first start getting that money, when you try to
It's
get
your
as much
own
as
money.
possible,
What would
all
you-
that kind of shit.
What would
It's
you
your
buy,
own money.
Boogie?
You're not going
What did
to
you
your
buy,
parents for
Boogie?
it.
Yeah, Boogie.
You know,
What would
my
you
silly
buy?
ass just
What would
bought
you buy?
sneakers and, you know, all that
Yeah, I bought
predictable
sneakers,
bullshit.
too.
Don't get me wrong, I saved
Shit
some
your
dollars. My
mom's
mom's
not
taught me
gonna
well.
buy.
But I definitely bullshit a lot of money on sneakers, clothes, and all that kind of shit. You know, the shit that people spend when you're 18
Yeah.
and 19 and all that.
You know,
Flash, what about you?
Flash.
Because we kind of cut you off in the beginning.
Nah,
Oh,
so,
we did?
but now, what was the question?
You said you hustled. When you said your earliest
right.
memory of money, you
So,
said you
right.
used to hustle and you
So,
used to work. And I
all
wanted to know, how old were you at that time?
All right, so I remember at least even
Your
before
first job.
Right, before 16, I was always trying to hustle that, and if that meant like going to the barbershop, sweeping to get paid like $10-$20 or whatever the case is, and that means I'm about to go ham on the corner store or whatever, because I didn't
That's
really
what you
have
would spend it on?
Yeah, chips and shit, like chips and ice cream and shit. Basic kid life. But I think I remember also trying to like work so hard, because I guess around our era, we used to have like these blue cards or these green cards that had to symbolize if you was able to
Working papers.
the working papers or whatever.
Mhm.
So
You
I
get
was,
that 14 years old in New York City.
see, I think before it used to be like 16 or years ago. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But whatever before that, I was trying so hard to get that. It was 14. Okay, so I was trying so hard to get that, and it was like, no, you couldn't get it for whatever reason. So that made me develop the mentality like, okay, nobody just gonna give me bread, so I got to go find ways to go get bread. So it would be like, let me go clean something for somebody. Let me go fix something for somebody. Let me go sweep up the barbershop. Those are ways that I was like learning how to make money earlier.
Hustle.
Yeah, and it was so I don't usually share this story, but I used to look online back in the days or whatnot, as far as like opportunities on like how to work from home and shit like that. And there were a lot of opportunities available if you were in the online scene, especially if you were in like these AOL chat rooms and shit like that. So I was researching shit. I was applying for jobs online. I applied to be a tarot card reader. I applied
What?
no, real shit. I'm not even playing. And there were these. This was big back in the days. Like you could just do this shit over the phone or whatnot. I tried to be a phone sex operator. Real shit.
Word.
Whatever. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. How old were you? How old were you?
I had to probably be like 16 or 17 at this point.
I cannot.
But no, I was dead ass. Like I did it for a day. It didn't work out. Same thing with the tarot card reading
shit.
Shit.
Stuck to it, bro. You should have stuck to it.
Nah, bro.
I imagine that tarot card reading shit probably will work after that first day. I'm very curious to see how the fuck you
I
talk
don't believe
about
that shit.
No, I know. Shit, you're not like, they were doing everything online. They had software and shit. Like, and all I had to do was use the software. People will call the phone. This is the era of people calling up and paying like $1.99 a minute and shit. And people would call. I had to link the phone number to the house phone. I had to do it at a time where I know nobody was up and nobody was in the crib or some shit. And I was getting the phone calls. And I was doing it at first, hitting the button. You just got to read them, the tarot card shit on the screen. And then one of the tarot cards that popped up was like some real like negative or death shit. And I was just like, I hit the button again because I didn't want to tell the person what the card I just told. So I changed the future or some shit. But I didn't.
Calling me down. What the fuck?
I didn't like that. That job didn't give me. I felt wrong about trying to tell people about their future and stuff like that. So that's why that didn't work out for me.
It was false.
Correct.
Yeah, you're not real. Okay.
And the phone section didn't work out. The phone sex shit didn't work out. So I realized I didn't know how to have phone sex at that age in my life and shit.
Right.
Let me ask you a question though, Flash. You feel like the phone sex job will work out a lot better now that you're a little bit more
nigga. I'll be a fucking professional, nigga.
Oh, wow.
A professional, man. Absolutely. I mean, and it's wild too because I remember like the first couple calls I had, and I think I only did like 2 or 3, and this is how I knew it wasn't for me. It's like the chick asked me like what I had on or some shit because she was trying to get hot and bothered and shit. And I looked at myself, I was like, pajamas. I got on, socks and shit. Like it was real dry. So I'm just saying here, like I thought that's what they wanted to hear. You talking to a kid who never heard what phone sex sounded like.
Yo, bro, can I ask you what the interview process was like? Like who
everything was online, bro. All you had to do was go to the site. You plugged in your number and shit. They wasn't even checking IDs and shit, bro. You just
had money to throw away on that shit. That's crazy.
I feel like you was one of the early sex predator victims. Like somebody had you hustling you. Somebody was hustling you online, 16-year-old boy. It was like, go talk dirty.
This nigga was on the corner.
But no, but that's the problem though. I was lying about my age and shit. I was lying about my age in order to fucking get
Ah, there we go.
You
There
better.
we go.
Fuck out there in that corner, little nigga with your little bald head.
Yeah.
I wasn't bald when I was a kid, nigga.
Tell him about your pajamas, you little boy. Tell him about your
Whatever. I can't with y'all.
Chris
but
Hansen
anyway.
gonna pull up. Have a seat, sir.
But like I said, doing those jobs made me have a capricious behavior about like what I wanted to do for money.
Capricious?
Yes,
Capricious behavior?
Yes.
Moody behavior? I don't think you used that correctly.
I
You
don't know.
tried. But we
drank-
still
I
get to
drank
drink.
anyway, whatever.
We still get to drink.
Nah, I'll take a sip regardless.
I think
You
you
don't
can
get
say
credit
some of the
for that.
people you spoke to were capricious.
You damn sure don't get no credit for that, Flash. You try. Oh shit!
All right, so my first job was when I was 13 years old. Okay, I worked for the Daily News. I used to go door to door and knock on people's door and try to get them to join Daily News. I didn't get paid much, but what I would do
Because it was illegal. You shouldn't be working until you were 14, by the way.
No. You can work when you're 13, but you have to get permission from your parents. And it wasn't like I was working crazy hours. I was doing
Right,
like
keep around.
2 to 3 hours a day. You're allowed to do that.
Okay.
So I actually could have started when I was 12. I did when I was 13. I went out there. I did that. What I would do was take my check that they gave me, my little bullshit checks. I would use it and buy Charms lollipops, right? Buy a bunch of lollipops, and I would take them just to school and flip them and sell them in school for 25 cents a pop. I bought them for 10 cents, sold them for 25.
Okay, at an early age.
And I was actually trying to get my money up. Yeah, I was getting my money up like that. So, because I wasn't making much from the Daily News shit, I just went to that because it gave me a chance to interact with a bunch of females and shit like that. Because I was a little shy back then, and it was just an opportunity to interact with girls. So that's why. And actually, my boss was my cousin, so it was cool. But that was like my first job thing. Well, my first
How much
job
how much you gave him on the back end?
How much did I give? What?
You was hustling lollipops?
No, I was selling lollipops. So lollipops, I will buy them. I will go to the store, buy them for 10 cents. Do you know the Charms lollipops? You remember the watermelon?
With the bubble
Yeah.
With the bubble gum in the
Them
center,
shit.
right?
The watermelon.
Right, yeah,
Oh my God, the great.
Yeah, I used to buy them, go to school, flip them shits, sell them for 25 cents a pop. You know what I'm saying?
You said somebody was your boss for that?
No. For the Daily News, that was
For
my
the Daily
cousin.
News.
She was my boss.
Okay.
That was my hustle right there.
There's no lollipop
That was what I
kingpin
did
in
to
school.
make
Fly.
Yo, gotta be
I-
a lollipop king, bro.
I mean, you
They
definitely
needed it.
fucked up. You should have sold it for 35 cents, and then like if you wanted,
I
like
should've
if
sold
a
it
kid
for-
had $1,
no,
you know what I mean? I give it to you for $4. That was your hustle right there.
I
You
believe
fucked
when I got
up.
to
It's
high
all
school,
good.
I started selling them for 50 cents though. It was 50 cents when I got to high school.
Yo, if you
Yeah,
came,
your
to
price
me
went up
junior high
that quick,
school-
my nigga.
if you came to me
Damn.
junior
No,
high
from
school-
junior high school to high school.
If you
It
came
was
to
two
me
different
junior high
schools.
school and talk about, yo, I got a fucking charm and I sell it to you for 35 cents, I'll fight you. I'll fight
What?
you. I'm like,
And take that shit. And then
So don't
take it.
buy it, my nigga. You don't buy
How you
it.
gonna fight someone for selling a 35-cent charm?
You don't buy
That's
it.
crazy. Yo, in the 90s, that's crazy. Like that.
You want a lollipop?
Yo, bro.
You got a
right
quarter?
Now, see, now you're talking crazy right now. But you mean to tell me you're gonna go up that much on a lollipop?
Yeah, a
if
bag of
somebody
chips was
go-
25 cents. You
I
know?
You want this
25
lollipop, or you want to go to the
bro.
store and get it?
That
This
lollipop
is it.
is 5 cents, bro. 5 cents.
No, it was
bro.
10 cents. It was 10 cents, but I sold it for 25. All right.
All right.
The fish was 5 cents.
We scrapping.
Them shits
We
was
scrapping. We scrapping.
Why we gonna scrap? You
I mean, niggas like Mash not trying to pay. That's right. You don't want to pay nobody. That's what.
Find your
That's
own hustle.
disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
All right, Mash, what about you? What was your first job? Did you hustle before you became of age to work?
Yeah.
What you spend your money on? How much were you getting paid?
I was getting it. So I used to work at C-Town. I would bag bags. And bagging bags in C-Town, as long as you had like good customer service, you smile real big, be real nice to the old ladies after church. That's the
Drop
best
a towel
time
in
to
that
be
bucket, boy.
fucking bag some bags. So I would eat pretty good at C-Town, and I would give the money. I give the money to my moms because we had to share. We wasn't allowed to like have money for yourself. We was like share the money or whatever. But that was my first time working was at C-Town. After that, I remember niggas approached me at Cutco. And who those who don't know from New York,
What's Cutco?
Cutco is an organization out here that proposes themselves to young kids and tries to teach them about pyramid schemes.
Overpriced knives to
Yeah.
About what? What do they do?
They solicit young people to sell knives. They got a company. It's called Cutco.
Oh,
Wow.
okay, like the door-to-door sales, like the Tupperware people who go door-to-door. Yeah.
So they expect you to sell to
You
your
selling
family.
knives and shit?
Yes,
They're really good
You was
knives.
getting money? You was getting money?
No, nah. Because the thing about it was with Cutco, you had to buy into the shit in order to be a part of the
They
shit.
got
Yep.
you.
So
I think it was $150.
See, you sound like you was a part of Cutco.
Wow.
Yo, I feel like in terms of pyramid schemes, guys, like there's been a few of those way back in the days that actually got me too. I feel like MASH had knives. I had like a legal service.
There we go. What were you selling? What was you selling? What service
I was selling legal insurance to people. And I got one person to do it. And then when I was trying to get that money out, it was so many loops and like hurt. Like it took me a month to try to not a month, like a couple of weeks to find somebody who was willing to do it.
Scammers.
And then when I went to try to collect that money, that's when I started hearing obstacles and shit about that. Like, I couldn't get this money right now, something like that. That's when I knew it was fucked up.
Yeah.
I did believe that shit. They had seminars and all that shit you could go to.
That's how they get
Like,
you. They want to tell you about. They want to tell you about this one nigga who got like 7 cars. He got a house in fucking Atlanta, and he's out here flexing on everybody at this one meeting.
They sell you the image, making you think that it's easy to attain or something like that.
Yeah, like the pyramid type of thing or multi-level marketing.
Oh, we got 2 people under me. All you need is 2 people under you.
Yeah, that's that pyramid stuff.
I don't fuck with none of that pyramid shit. I used to hate when like the people I knew used to be telling me shit like, "Yo, come over for like dinner,"
and they invite you to it.
And not tell you why. And not tell you why.
So that would cause me to be capricious. No doubt.
2 points for you on that one.
That's a good one.
That was a good one.
You use that right. We could all take a sip for that.
Yeah,
I ain't got nothing to say.
Door-to-door sales is bullshit.
Go ahead, get yourself something, Mo.
I know, because I ain't sip nothing because
so get something to drink.
I am. I'm gonna get something.
So it was Cutco. Then I did summer youth camp counselor. I was a camp counselor for a minute.
Oh, I was too.
Yeah, me too.
I fucked with
for
that.
Summer youth.
All y'all camp counselors now?
I was a camp counselor.
Yeah, definitely was a
camp
counselor. I was a camp
After
counselor.
the movie theaters and the DOE, then I was
for those of you. Okay, for those of you who thought it was illegal for me to work, some of you starts at 12, bro. It starts at 12 years old, 7th grade. Yup. Some of you.
Go okay. Is that what,
did you find your statistics on that? Find the documents on that.
No,
because I remember
I'm telling you,
that's real life. 14 years old and you had to get working papers.
Yeah,
but
you did.
12 years old. That's when I started.
Go ahead, Mash. Are you complete, Mash? Before we
you might be right. You might be right. Might be 14. I think you're right. I think you're right.
I was the Easter Bunny. I was the Easter Bunny in Kings County Mall in Brooklyn.
You got paid for that?
Paid me every Easter. I would go sit there in the Easter Bunny.
I think I seen you in that dumbass bunny costume one time. I believe. Yeah, I remember that, sir. He didn't want nobody hugging him. I know that for a fact. He had a
Boogie was your biggest fan on Easter, bro. You didn't even know.
I'm out here, baby. Come check me in Brooklyn. I was there giving daps.
We need video of this.
It's 14.
We need video of this, Mash. We need some video.
14.
It's 14 years old.
You know what's crazy? I worked with Mash at McDonald's way back when. Remember?
You motherfucking right.
I worked with Mash had So Mash is like tall, right? So like Mash ain't even back then, he ain't a nigga that you just smack and you just throw it like and just look like a little bitch, right? But he had these fishnets that he wore to work one time at McDonald's.
I'm sorry, what?
He had fishnets. Like he had on his head because he had like braids at the time. On his head. Like he wore that shit on his head. I tell you, he looked like such a straight up fool. I laughed for like 5 minutes straight. I'd never seen a man look so funny. It was so long ago at McDonald's, but that was. Do you remember that shit?
I don't know why. Would I wear fishnet?
You was wearing something on your head.
To cover your hair?
Because he had braids at the time, and he was wearing something to cover his hair from the grease or whatever. And I was laughing so hard because I never seen that. He was like, "Yo, I'll fuck you up," and I was like, "Yo, you could never beat me wearing that shit on your head." It was so funny.
So
I wanted to say, hold on, Shake. I wanted to say the age is 14.
You know, you're right. Now that I think about it, I was 14.
Unless, right?
I did research too.
And it says unless you are unless the child is like a performer or a model, you could be younger than 14.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. Because you know there's like baby models and stuff like that, but the legal age is 14.
14. So I was right the first time. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Just for clarity,
Nash is not Jamaican, by the way, but How many jobs is that, Mash? You should get an award for that.
I worked at 2 McDonald's. I worked at a McDonald's with Boogie, and I worked at a McDonald's in Southside on Suffin, which was short lived because that McDonald's kept getting shot up. I was like, I can't be in this McDonald's for much longer. So I went from
you had a McDonald's getting shot up, bro. God damn.
Bro, Suffin and Linden, bro. Suffin and Linden.
Kind of capricious motherfuckers shot the McDonald's up, bro.
Yo, you reaching now.
Reaching. Nah, you reaching shit. You take a shot on
that was good. That was good. Give him that.
He shot the McDonald's up, though.
Does that make him capricious, though, Moody?
They fries to hot
They
enough.
can be calm. They could be just...
Then after McDonald's, it was Popeyes, and after Popeyes, it was Home Depot, and after Home Depot, I was a consultant, and I just stuck there for a minute. But for the point I'm trying to make is, niggas been getting it out the mud for a minute. Niggas been working for a long fucking time. That shit is crazy.
man.
Son, I was working 2 jobs for no reasons at times. I'll be honest with you, and I think because I saw my parents do it, I saw my father work 2 jobs, I saw my mom work 2 jobs. I thought that shit was just normal. I'll just be honest with you, and it made me. And I think somebody asked me one time, like, because I'd be rushing out from like one job to the other 2. Somebody was like, "Nigga, you got kids?" Because I was young and shit, like trying to balance 2 jobs. And shit. They would ask me like, "You got kids?" And I'm like, "No." And they was like, "Why you work so hard?" And I was like, "Cause I have to." Like that was just my thing, like for money at least. But
you know, as real as an adult, you realize how fucked up that mentality is now versus then where you think it's okay. Like, I think it's inhumane for someone to be working like 2 jobs like that nowadays. Like, you need like your personal space. If I saw someone working like 80 hours a week, I feel bad for them regardless how much money they're getting, because it's like you don't have no personal time.
Your livelihood.
We were kind of talking as a child though, right? Like, can you imagine kids getting? Go ahead.
No, I'm saying like a child working like 40 plus hours a week. I remember at the Home Depot sometimes, I think they cut your hours to 40, but I remember some places they let you work past 40, and it's like kids be working 60, 70 hours.
Yeah, off the books.
But you know though, I don't take away from that, because I feel like you need to. I think everybody should be able to work hard, or at least like have a
good work ethic.
Where they develop that, and I feel like if things come too easy to you too quick, you don't
want to work for it.
Value. Or that you don't understand the value of work, or you don't want to work for anything. So I'm not mad at the fact that I learned that type of lifestyle, early on, as far as like, if you don't work, you don't get paid, or if you don't hustle, whatever, even if that meant working 40, 60 hours a week. I just feel like that gave me perspective. I don't want to do that forever. So that's
I feel like I'm looking at it differently. Like, I feel like at MASH and Flash, they talking about, they work in so many jobs, right? They've been bouncing around, working hard. And I think about, like, we're taught, I guess, as kids to just work as much hours as possible to get as much money as possible. You're not taught about like what we're doing right now. Like, we didn't have that kind of mindset right then. Like, we were just thinking so differently in terms of just working as much hours as possible, for lack of a better term, if that makes sense. 2 jobs or not. And I feel like that's what I'm taking away from just our mindset that when we got our first jobs, we would just focus on hours and the amount per hour.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't even the hours.
And we didn't even dictate that amount per hour. We just worked and lived our lives based off that amount per hour, if that makes sense. That's my opinion.
I think a lot of that has to do on your purpose. Like, why would you
like
work?
What you want the money for? I agree.
Right.
What do you want the money for?
I mean, we weren't even thinking about how valuable we were to that whatever pay per hour was. Like, whatever we making $10 an hour at McDonald's, we didn't think about. Or at least for me, I was never thinking about, okay, what can I do to kind of elevate myself past that to 12 or 13 or something like that. I
completely understand what you're saying, Boogie.
Yeah, and I feel like I was just focused on just working as much hours as possible at the amount that I was making. That was the mindset.
I feel like when I heard TJ say that they're forcing high school students to take financial literacy classes,
they're requiring it.
That touched my heart. The fact that they're requiring it, that touched my heart, because at the end of the day, when we're working, nobody really told me that I should be invested in my retirement when I was 17, but I should have been. And if I had significantly invested in my retirement, I would have built a really nice nest egg by now. But would you have
bought in the new Jordans? Let's think about it.
I wouldn't have been able to use that money. It would have been in my retirement. It would have been in my retirement fund. You understand what I'm saying? So
I just feel like these type of conversations wasn't even present. Like, at least for me back then.
It wasn't.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Shade.
No. I mean, my mindset was just like, my parents' mindset or the people around me's mindset is, get a good job, make money so you could take care of your family. It was never like, you know, how you build wealth or how you prepare for the future. It's more of a you work 1, 2 jobs and you
get the things that you want. You buy the things that you want.
Yeah, until you can retire and then you're good. And you know, we never really get into the nitty and gritty of like, you know, when you retire, what do you want that to look like? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But y'all talking from a perspective of like, if you're not in survival mode, if you're in survival mode, you're not thinking about like your fucking
retirement. Yeah, like young kids are not thinking about that at all. You know, like, but that's nice.
Yeah, got TJ.
And I'm just saying, and that's nice that the schools are now going to teach it. You know, some financial literacy courses.
I mean, because go ahead, TJ, because I'm sorry.
I just wanted to share my earliest work experience real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
So yeah, I started off working, getting my working papers at 14, and I definitely did like one of those summer youth jobs, like volunteering in a nursing home, and it smelled like pee. It was disgusing.
But why'd you stay?
And then I got. Well, first I volunteered for them, and then I got a position with them, and they paid pretty well. I remember it being over minimum wage, and I don't know what minimum wage was at the time. That's why I asked Mo, and she was able to say it was $5. I don't even remember what minimum wage was, but I know I was making over that because I volunteered with them, which was nice. And then I'll mention that I joined the military at 17. Didn't know what the hell I was doing, and that I was going to sacrifice my life and get deployed to Iraq and Kuwait. But that was crazy, but I think what Flash mentioned something like that, and what it taught me, being in the military taught me that I could do anything and that I could be a leader. It really shaped my character, not only as a professional, but as an individual. Like I use it outside of my profession. That is my character, to take lead and to want to accomplish things and feel like I can do anything. The military definitely instilled that in me at a very, very young age.
Isn't it nice to be able to step into those roles at will?
I guess. Yeah. They teach you how to do that. Like you're taught to be a leader very early in the military.
No, that is a good skill to have, though.
Yeah, and I think sports too teach you that. Yeah, teach
that work ethic.
Work ethic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, TJ, Dan sure don't teach it in school.
You know, you talk about this minimum wage being so low, but these motherfuckers nowadays, these niggas is getting like $15 an hour. These kids for some of you.
Even $15 an hour is still low when you think about it. $15 an hour ain't nothing to like.
For a kid.
It is.
The cost of living went up though, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if a kid living at home with his parents, he caking, but. Unfortunately, there's adults, out there that probably making close to minimum wage. You'd be surprised.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And I hear you guys
think about like factory workers and shit like that, you know?
I hear you guys talking about how you would have invested and stuff like that. But I think at that age, it was like, what do I want to buy that mommy is not going to buy? My mom was not trying to spend $100 on no damn Timberland boots.
I disagree with that, TJ. I think that our environment like forced us to kind of have that mindset, but like, a kid right now among us would not be thinking about buying no goddamn sneakers or some bullshit. If they was making money like that and was around us, we'd be having those conversations about investing. I feel like the environment was the problem in terms of.
But for me, I'll say at my age, my mom wasn't trying to pay for Timberlands. And so if I wanted it, I would have to buy it for myself. If I wanted Jordans, I would have to buy it. If I wanted the North Face jacket that was really big in high school, I would have to go ahead and buy that because she was not trying to put her money towards that. And my mom did instill some type of investment in me because she was like, put this away. Save your money. She did instill it in little ways, but I was like, fuck that. I'm not trying to save it. You know what I mean? But I think nowadays it's changing. Like you mentioned, Boogie, it is changing. And I think kids are now listening to their aunt and uncle or, like a friend that's telling them, buy Apple stock. You know what I'm saying? There's way more platforms where it's more accessible to kids too. And that's the wave, that's actually what's on social media right now too. Cryptocurrency is a young people thing too. Shay, you kind of already mentioned your credit card, your first introduction to credit card.
Well, I got my first 2 credit cards when I was 18, and
did you know how to use it? Did someone teach you?
My balance on them was $500.
The limit. You need the limit. The credit limit.
And I actually took out my first loan when I was at that age as well. So I dealt a lot with credit. Yeah, I took out $100 loan. I actually took out a loan to buy I I took out a loan when I went on vacation, and just because my friend said I could take it, I was with a credit union at the time, and they was like, "Yo, you could take out a loan." And a few of my friends had took out like $2,000 loans and bought a car. I only took out $1,000 loan because I wanted to, spend it on something that I wanted to do, and I've always been really good paying money back. Like I've never fallen behind on payments. Like up until now, I've never fallen behind on payments. But there's certain things that I refuse to pay if I don't agree with it. Now that has attacked my credit, but if I don't agree with it, I'm not fucking paying it. Like these cell phone bills and shit. Sometimes they'll come up with like some bullshit bill, like you still owe us $100. I'm not fucking paying you. You got my money. I'm not paying you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's happened a few times.
I'm sure that went over well with the credit card company, Shake.
Huh?
No.
That wasn't the credit card company, but I'm talking about credit in general. But credit cards, I've always been really good with credit cards.
Anybody else want to share a credit card story real quick?
I don't really have a story. Yeah, I don't have a story, but I know for me, I didn't get a credit card until, which is crazy. I didn't get my first credit card till I was actually like an adult, like until I started working.
Why was that?
The job that I'm currently at, and I just remember because my mother kept saying like, "Do not
get a credit card."
Yeah, do not get. And when I got my first credit card, when I worked, and I've been at my job 15 years. When I started working at my job is when I got my first credit card, and at that time, that was the one credit card that I had.
And why do you think your mom told you not to get a credit card?
Because she knew what that was. She had closed credit card. When I'm saying closed, I'm talking about like stores, credit card and stuff like that. And she probably, knew what that was and didn't want to see me go through that. So it was like, listen, I'm telling you.
Yeah, she was probably bad with credit.
Probably bad. Yeah, my mother's, and she admits that she was bad. And that's one thing she praises me for. Like, thank God that you're like me when it comes to money. Like, you're very good with that. So she always talks about that.
No shade, but that is like a great lesson to have learned because my mom's was in the same place. Like she told me how bad credit cards was from the jump.
It actually isn't though.
I mean, like as a young person, I guess it is. Yes. It's not advisable for a young person to have credit cards because it's not advertised. At college, they used to be out there, like right in front of the dorm, like to advertising kids. Like they didn't. It wasn't really about being responsible. They wanted you to have that credit card,
and they wanted you to fuck up with it.
Right. Yeah, so I want to be clear. Credit cards are good, and that is
yes,
to
they
build
are.
Your credit. However,
of course,
at the time that I'm talking about, at the time, and I say this, and no disrespect, my mother is a Caribbean parent, right? She hails from Jamaica. That was not taught to them in regards to how to use credit cards to be a benefit to them. You understand what I'm saying? So she could not possibly have taught that to me. So what I'm saying is, yes, credit card can be used as a great feature to build your credit if you're learning from the person who knows that information. But at that time, I don't think my mother knew that information that well. She knew, okay, I want to get what I want to get from this store, and I'm going to get my 20% off from opening up this credit card. I want what I want right now. I'm gonna get this credit card.
Yo,
I mean, Mo, like on some real shit. I know like credit cards are good, but when you think about how many people are in debt and when they start in debt, I feel like credit cards need to be taken as seriously as you would take, I would say like alcohol or something like that, but people don't use it responsibly. So I don't think it's good because it's marketed and just how people take advantage of it. That's why I don't think it's good. Like obviously, it's great to build
not having education on credit cards is the bad thing. Not having a credit card, it's the lack of education.
And that's what it is too for me because I can understand your sentiment more. Where it's like you have Caribbean parents. They coming over here. They're not taught financial literacy. They don't come from that. That wasn't built into like their culture or their upbringing or whatnot. So me getting a credit card young at 18 or whatever, and they say like, yo, I get the letter, you've been approved, you got $12,000 and shit. I'm looking at this shit like, I got $12,000. That's a lot of fucking money for an 18-year-old who don't know about financial literacy. So for me, I'm sitting here like I was on my Oprah shit way early. I was giving you get a gift, everything. Everybody got Christmas gifts, and I was blowing this fucking credit card money and shit just to understand like, oh, you gotta
pay it back.
And then interest.
You didn't have that education on it.
Because in my mind,
it's the interest that really gets you.
And you're not even thinking about the interest at first, because it's like, if you don't know about credit cards and shit, they just pretty much giving to you what looks like almost free money. But yeah, it's not free, because you're gonna have to work and pay. But once you start reading all the fine print and shit like that, it's like, whoa, what the fuck did I just do? Because I spent a lot of this money and now I owe a lot more money. So
like they market credit cards like it's a gift certificate, like there's $1,000 already
like
in
it's
it.
free money.
Yeah,
it's not free
like
money.
they market it like it's there for you to spend. No, you got to pay that shit back. They never talk about like those hidden features.
Right.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about as far as free money, because I've never thought of credit cards as free money.
I never thought it was free money.
I mean, in terms of how people spend it when they first get it,
yeah,
in my head,
everyone's treating it like free money.
In my head, now I'm gonna be honest with you. They started me off with a little $500 and $1,000 credit card, so I didn't have that much. $12,000 is crazy, you know what I'm saying? But like, I feel like when I use my credit card, I use it with the understanding that I have to pay this back, and I've always had this in my head, like this is something I have to pay back. So if I don't want to be paying back a bunch of money, I'm not going to use this a lot. So I don't understand. I mean, I understand how it could happen, but and I also don't want to demonize credit cards as far as saying credit cards are bad. I feel like we do that a lot, but I don't think credit cards are good either. You understand what I'm saying?
You need to have credit.
Credit cards are not great. You know what I'm saying? Because what they try to do is they're not trying to get you to fuck up. They're trying to get you to spend money, and they're trying to get you to pay that shit back with interest. That's how they make their money. Exactly. They don't make their money by chasing you down. You feel what I'm saying? They make their money by you paying that shit back.
But that's the way that you build credit. You have to have credit cards. So having a multiple credit cards is a good thing as long as you're balanced. First of all, they say in order to keep your credit score high, you should be your utilization on your credit card should be under 30%. And if you want to even go even better than that, it should be under 10%.
I thought it was supposed to be under 50%. You're supposed to be spending money in I'm sorry, like
under 30.
Like the general essence of like regardless of the percentage, the overall aspect of building a credit is like having that credit and then paying it back. Like having repeated payments shown being made is, from what I understand, the accurate way. That's how you build your credit up. Like my credit's high as fuck, and it's because of just how I've never missed a student loan payment. I didn't know how helpful that was until I wanted to get a credit card, and it was just that easy.
And also when you pay off your stuff too. Like I paid off my student loans, and that decreased my years of credit, to be honest. So that kind of brought me down. You know what I mean? So you have to. So you see what I'm saying? Like even when you
it's multiple things that affect
multiple things
credit.
that affect, right? So even when you pay your shit off at a balance of zero, it's still right.
Another good niche, or another good thing about credit cards is if you have somebody who has really good credit in your family, a cousin, an aunt, or whatever, have them put like a young person on your card. You don't have to even
as an authorized user.
You don't even have to give them the card. You keep the card, and then you help them build their credit. That shit
does help them bring their credit up.
It really does.
Just put anyone on it, or you got to run information on them too in terms of like employment and all that. They got to be working, and all that, like a regular credit check.
Nah, they don't even have to be working, bro. You can put them on your credit card as an authorized user. If you have good credit, you can help build their credit that way.
Correct.
But you don't even have to give them a card, my nigga. You just going and paying your stuff off would help their credit along. Just that. Just saying.
I actually did not know that. That's dope shit.
I'm glad I can give you that information.
Yeah.
I had a big difference. I mean, in terms of credit cards, I learned about them in college. Me and my man C.R.E.A.M went on vacation, and before we went on vacation, we got this King Kong card from Capital One, and we was swiping the shit out of this King Kong card.
What was the limit?
It was only something like $1,000, but we was on a road trip.
Like the Millie Rock.
So I got gas this time. Yeah, my nigga, I got gas this time. Swipe. We out here. And every time we swipe the card, we like, King Kong, baby, he got us, King Kong. Then King Kong ran up and he was looking for us. That nigga ran up. He was like, yo, with my bread, Dougie. And once you realize that the money has value, like the interest is literally what the money is worth borrowing. Like you're paying for that. You know what I mean? So if you don't get that money back, they coming out better than you are. What you spent, I'm sure whatever you spent has depreciated in value immediately. You know what I mean? So
if you take a $5,000 loan out, you're not paying it back $5,000. You're paying it back $5,000 and some change right off the rip.
If you don't pay it on time, that's right.
That depends on what type of loan you get, and that's why financial literacy is so important, because we have to be aware of what type of deals we're getting offered to make the best of those opportunities. Credit cards are really important to understand is the value of the money that you're trying to borrow. Like how much your limit is probably something wild, crazy high, but that interest is probably just as high, money. You want to cap this shit out, you're gonna pay us back for that shit.
Yeah, when I think about it,
you also got to remember that when you go ahead, Flash. Sorry.
No, I was just thinking about credit in terms of like, you watch the movies and shit, and like, they had the characters, the loan sharks or whatnot, and it's like when you don't give the loan shark the money back, it's like they used to break your ankles or your knees or whatever the case is, and like they don't do that no more. Like credit companies are like
a Shylock. They call them Shylocks, I think.
Harass your phone pretty much.
Did that break your ankle?
Yeah.
But nowadays they harass your phone, like Boogie says, with the credit people calling a collection
time of the day.
Yeah.
They say don't break your legs though. But I also wanted to just let people know that also when it comes to these interest rates on these credit cards, what people don't understand as well is that this shit is compounding. Your interest rate may say one thing, but you got to understand that when they start adding the interest on their monthly, that the next month interest is added to the interest that they've already. The next month interest is based on the money that they added to it plus what the principal was. So you're gonna get compounding interest.
The moral
if you're
of the
not
story
paying more than the minimum.
Is do not pay the minimum payment ever. If you
Facts.
ever got
always
a
pay
bill
more
to
than the
pay,
minimum.
you never ever pay the minimum payment. Always
That's
more than the
fact.
minimum payment to get ahead of payments.
Is it even realistic to like talk about, like, I've always thought that the just essential use of a credit card was for that emergency situation where you didn't have money. I always thought that as I ain't gonna lie, I think as a kid my mom's taught me, like, or I don't think it was my mom's, but I just learned as a kid, if you didn't have the money for it,
you could put it on
credit didn't mean that you had the money for it. Like if you couldn't afford to buy it with cash, you shouldn't put it on credit because you couldn't afford to really pay it back. So that's something I guess that stuck with me as a kid.
And that needs to go the hell away. Yeah, that needs to go the hell away. You want to use credit for your advantage. And now they have this credit card that I want to talk to you guys about real quick. Have you guys heard about it? Green Light. It's for kids.
Yes.
They see the commercials of it online, but they're trying to like educate kids on how to use your credit card. So parents can give your child money and you use the card. It comes with an app and it says, oh, if you did your chores, I'm putting this money on your card. It has their little picture on the card too. So when they go and use it, so it teaches them that they can get money from grandma, grandpa, put that money on the card. It's like a secure credit card. You guys know what secure credit cards are? So if you don't have good credit history, you can get a secure credit card and the limit is really low and it's maybe $200. You put the $200 on it and you can use it as much as you want. And when the
What's
$200
the age limit in terms of how young can you put a child on
but the
it?
Green Light card, I'm not sure.
I don't know what the age limit is, but I know them little niggas gonna be buying V-Bucks with that shit. This is the mini.
I'm not sure what the age limit is. I'd have to look it up, but it's called Green Light and it's greenlight.com. But I would start my kid really young, like just teaching them about this is money. Okay, grandma gave you money. You want to put it on the card, or you did your chores. You want to put it on the card when you want to go buy something. It kind of teaches them that
I would never pay my kid to do my chores. I'm sorry. I was just going off when I heard that shit. Like, I wish I would.
I mean, allowance is a payment, and allowance is a payment.
I mean, I know, like, to give him money just generally so he could live, but I like his chores.
No, but let them know that that money comes with like responsibility. You gotta do your fucking job. You know what I'm saying? But TJ, it's not a credit card; it's a debit card. That's a difference.
It is, but it's teaching them about how to use your money and credit and stuff like that. So that's what I was trying to say. So we can.
There's no interest enough inside with that kind of program, right? Did they kind of, or was that like? Because if that's like a little like kind of if there's no back end where there's no kind of interest rates and nothing like that, like a regular credit card company, that actually would be dope in terms of just educating people. Absolutely.
I don't think there is, because it's like a debit card, and I think the mom puts money on the card and they get money on it. But we can look at, like, if you wanted more interest or more information on it, go to greenlight.com. But I think that's good that they're initiating or educating young kids to get it, just so that they can learn more about money at a younger age and how to use it properly.
Or they just teach
promo
how to use
it. Well, I mean, if a parent is doing that, then I would think that a parent that got the Green Light card is trying to teach their child a little bit more than that, like.
Yeah. Financial
those are my
responsibility.
thoughts.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
investigate that because I
Responsibility.
probably think that's just for the parent who tired of giving this little nigga a debit card. Like, look, here, get this little card here. Go buy shit with this.
Could
Here,
be.
look, stop
I
taking.
mean, kids are spending that much though nowadays. Like I know every kid got an iPhone, but they really spending like that.
Bro,
I mean, come on,
be.
6, 7 years old. I know they can't be
Games
buying like
cost
that.
money, my nigga. Games cost money. Games ain't free.
Them games.
Yeah.
V-Bucks
Games
is a
cost
real
$70,
thing.
bro.
You know, Fortnite. You heard of
Word.
Fortnite?
What's the name?
I heard
I was just about to say
I
that.
heard of that
Fortnite.
shit, but
Children
Fortnite
buy
is-
V-Bucks to buy like skins and guns, and
Facts.
I
Yeah.
can understand why giving them
The
that
game
card
is
to be
free
Like,
because they're gonna get you in the game.
go ahead, play.
Yeah,
Real talk.
to
no, I'm
upcharge
good.
you.
I'm good with that microtransaction bullshit. No, thank you.
That's
All
exactly
right,
what
y'all
that
ready?
is.
That's how you know.
Y'all ready to get ratchet? We're gonna do a burner question since we've been talking about borrowing, lending, credit. Credit is kind of similar to borrowing and lending,
That's exactly
right?
what it is. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is. You borrowing the money, you paying the word for the interest.
Everybody got their burner question cards.
Yes,
Yeah.
queen.
At home, if you get your burner question card. So burner questions are signatures to the SR podcast. We ask a question where you can either answer yes, no, or sophisticatedly ratchet. That's like your wild card. Why is it sophisticated? Why is it ratchet? We want you to explain your answer, and we get you to explain your answers anyway. So the question is, would you ever co-sign for a friend? Let me see them cards. Boogie says yes. Smash says yes. Mo says
Nah,
no.
you know what? You know what? I gotta switch that. I gotta go there.
Okay, so
That's some
Boogie
fake
says
friends right
yes.
here.
Nah,
That's
I
some
gotta
Mo
go.
bad
says a
friends.
hard no, and everybody else says sophisticatedly ratchet. Mash, flash, and shake. Boogie, why yes? You're so sweet.
I'm saying yes. This is under assumption that like this person don't have no kind of baggage. If, like for example, like my moms or just someone I trust. Absolutely, no doubt.
It said
This was
friend.
a friend.
It said friend.
This
Yeah,
was
I mean,
a
there's
friend.
trust involved. Like this friend is going to not fuck
It's
my
just
shit up. He's
friends,
going
not
to
parents.
be as responsible as I want him to be. So that's the expectation that I have. But
Got
it's
it.
an expectation.
So if you listen to our friends episode, this is a friend that you trust, like a best friend, not an associate, right?
There's no such thing as best friend. Remember, Flash don't like
Definitely
that. Don't
a
do that.
friend. No best friend, but definitely a friend.
Definitely a close friend that you trust. Okay. And then Mo said no. Why Mo? No, Mo.
I've had several people.
Ah,
I've had somebody
Borrow money, and then you're like,
No,
I'm
I
never
have-
gonna
yeah,
co-sign.
no, I had somebody that I was with at one point in a relationship asked me to co-sign, and I still
You
did.
said no.
I said
Dating.
no.
wait.
Yeah, they-
Like you said no or didn't even try it. Like
No, I said no. I didn't even
Fuck
try
that.
it. Didn't even
Ice cold.
Just
Cheating
and
like
I'm
that.
not. And I'm
Fuck
not with the
no.
person. I'm not with the person till this day. So I'm just saying.
Fuck
You
that
understand what I'm
nigga.
saying?
Fuck that nigga.
I just feel like when it comes to co-signing, it's serious because I'm responsible, and if I don't have it, like that's put in. If I'm looking at my life and the situation I'm in, monetary wise, and to know, yes, I could trust that you're going to pay it back. If you don't, I'm responsible for it. So now I need to make sure that I can be responsible to pay for that on top of what I already have. Nah, I can't do it. So
Get
So
your life
friends,
together.
we all know that Mo is not gonna co-sign for you.
yeah, Mo, that's
no.
ice cold, Mo. You never even tried it to
I
like
don't think it's
test
ice
it.
cold.
No, I
think
never
it's-
tried it.
I think it's
I never
appropriate.
tried it. I never
I was
tried
like,
it.
nah, I
Whatever
ain't
works for
sharing
you
shit.
and your budget.
Yeah.
All right,
What's
so
your answer?
me-
Because you know this TJ ain't.
We got 3 sophisticatedly ratchets. So
Hold
go
on,
ahead.
can I get
Matt,
the question one more time, please?
Well,
Would you
would you
co-sign
co-sign for a friend?
That's what it said. For a
well,
friend.
you know, Mo always gives away money with the expectation that she's not gonna get it back anyway.
Right.
So she don't expect these motherfuckers to do the right things. You have to expect the worst from some people sometimes, to be honest with you.
Right. Correct.
But for me, I said sophisticatedly ratchet because it's it depends on the purchase. It depends on like if they're trying to buy a car or something like that, and it's
Mine
like
was a car.
$10,000, and it's not crazy. I will co-sign it if I trust that person. You know what I'm saying? It has to be somebody who I really trust. But a house, my nigga, hell no. Like that shit is a 30-year commitment, nigga. I love you,
I need
nigga.
some sort of like
But
down
30
payment,
years?
something to like, you know what I mean? Make
30
me comfortable.
years?
That's a large
No,
kind of portion.
nigga.
Facts.
And then when you refinance and shit, like nah,
Yeah.
that's some shit that's on you, my nigga. You do that, but if you need help with your car, my nigga, I would if I trust you. If you're somebody who I trust.
Yeah, I mean, I share the same thoughts as Shay, and also I'm gonna look at the friend. I'm gonna look at the history of our money exchanges and shit.
Yes.
And then I also got to be honest with the friend because, like, let's say if Shay I would co-sign for Shake, but if Shake is trying to buy like a Maserati, I'm gonna say no. Like I'm not gonna co-sign for this
Wait, hold on, what?
Maserati with you.
Why?
No,
Irresponsibility.
because
Yeah, if you need a Maserati, you should not have anybody co-signing for you. I'm not
Word.
Out of here.
So this is a co-sign within reason for me because I'm sitting here like, bro, you got to get a Toyota Camry because this is not
point A to
A
point B.
Camry though, nigga. A Camry.
You gonna look
You
fine.
try to stop your shot, Shake. You try to say you can get that Maserati, bro. You try to say you got to drive the Camry,
Nigga,
bro.
do you know how small a Camry?
Bro,
is
if I'm co-signing for it, I got to be able to pay for it myself right now twice, if anything. If I got to co-sign for somebody else, because I'll be damned if I can't get some shit for myself and I'm sitting here co-signing for this nigga. Like, nah.
Nah, I was that thing. When you said Camry, I was thinking about a Corolla. I was like, that's terrible.
Nah, I wouldn't give you a Corolla, bro. That's the lowest.
Listen, that was my first car. Don't knock it.
Oh, terrible car.
I can give you the bottom bit.
That's what you on blast. What you looking at, TJ?
Wow.
There's a whole squirrel at my window, like trying to come in. Like he put his whole thing up just now. I'm like,
that nigga want financial literacy classes.
he does. He hear me talking about money. He's like, let me get some. Mash, what about you? Why Sophisticatedly Ratchet?
I share the same sentiments of the homies. It depends on the relationship that I got with the friend. Co-sign, it depends on what you're trying to get. Like if you're trying to realistically, like if you was trying to get out of debt and you was like, yo, I want to get this loan to pay off all my debt and I want to get myself together, and hearing that story sounds heartbreaking, but at the same time, nigga, I know you got a problem with the strip club. I know you got a problem spending V-Bucks. Like I know you out here.
You was with the nigga before he came to you.
I know you for everybody, shit like that.
BMFing it, blowing money fast. Last week, and we going to Miami in a couple weeks. So come on, bro. Like I can't. I can't.
Yo, Mash. How would you break it down to him? Like you see a homie that you know gonna trick that on some bullshit. How would you tell him no? Like nah, I ain't really got it right now.
Nah, I would have to be like, nah, I can't afford that right now. I can't afford the risk.
Right.
That's what that would be. I can't afford the risk. That's a big risk. I
was thinking of that grimy friend. Like, nah, I ain't giving you shit. I see you spending that money in the strip club. Fuck God, I'm thinking of that type of friend.
If they my friend, I'm gonna be nice to them, but I'm gonna be honest about how I feel about it. It's because it's my money. Ultimately, it's my money that I ain't even like a part of. Like that's like I'm co-signing. Like it's not even my shit. It's your shit. You're making me a part of it. It's like a long-term relationship now. Like if we co-sign, like Shake said, that's 30 joints. Like that's a house. But even if it's something smaller, that's still time spent of an agreement that I gotta hope that you gonna abide by. And if you not, if your history don't say that you the type of dude to do some shit like that, then I ain't gonna vouch for that. That's crazy.
But that's why I said no, because once I do that and you don't give me back my money, that's gonna put me in a capricious state of mind. So
that's a fact.
Okay.
That's a fact. I like the way she grabbed the temples.
Take a little sip from
More with the reach around.
Use that well.
Yeah, I have to circle back. Like, nah, that's gonna put me in a capricious state.
Yeah, I think money makes you capricious. I'm not even gonna try to steal it. I think money makes you. I think your relationship with money makes you.
And we're gonna get to that next. That's the next one.
What's TJ's answer?
Yeah, before we get to that, I'll just say my answer is obviously no. I do not co-sign for friends. Instead, what I would say, because I had my own family member ask me, a sibling asked me to co-sign for them, and I could not say yes. I could say my answer was I can help you rebuild your credit because I know how to fix credit. Like I've been helping myself all these years, and my answer was no to her, to them, because I don't believe in co-signing for people. If you can't afford it, you should not have it. I will help you in other ways, but I can't put myself on the line because I don't even know what's going to happen. But Max, you touched on something really beautifully, and I think that's how we're going to end up closing out our episode is, what's your relationship with money? Is it a good relationship? Is it a bad relationship? Do you even want to put a adjective over it? Like,
I think everyone has a relationship with money that is very specific because our history with money is different. Even through this conversation, like how we interacted with money. Like, I think that money can be like toxic because it can cause real stressors when you feel like you stuck at work because you have to have money to pay bills and you in this this
Mhm.
wheelhouse of like
Paycheck
pressure,
to paycheck.
you know, like
Uncomfortable position in just every sense of the word.
and all of that is just associated with dollars. You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
root of that issue. You know what I mean? So our relationship with money can be real different. It could be hurtful and it can be loose. Like some people cannot give a fuck about money, and that's those niggas you don't lend money to.
What's
Like
your
this podcast
relationship
itself
with money?
is an example about a relationship with money. Like we all here, we all have our desires and we want to make this shit pop. But
Right.
there's also just the feeling that, you know, we want to get more value out of this. So money is like, I guess, slowly creeping in just aspects of how we do our thing every week or whatnot, you know?
Yeah,
Like
I
our
think I have
relationship with money changes is what I'm trying to say. Like,
I think I have a love-hate relationship with money.
Yeah, explain that. What's that mean for you?
Like when you get it, you love it. You know, it's like, yes,
Yeah.
I want to get, I want to get this, I want to get that. But then when you look at, like paying things off and, working hard, and it's like, damn, like I really got
goes right back out.
Yeah, it goes right back out. So, or investing in something and then taking a hit and maybe in the investment. So,
talk about
it's,
it.
So it's like a revolving kind of, I love it, but damn, I hate you sometimes. So, I think it's a love-hate relationship. But of course, at some aspect, we all love money. Money gives us what we need, gets us to where we got to get
I would
to
never say I love money though.
without, not like that, but
I love money for it. That's what
I love money.
Yeah, I love money
Me
because
too.
I love what it can bring
I'm able
me.
to eat. Yeah, I'm able
Yes.
to eat with money. I'm able to do, so yes, it is a love for it. Because without it, I wouldn't be able to do anything. So that's why I said it's a love-hate. I love it, but I also hate it at the same time.
I mean, me personally, I love money. I think money could make my life so much easier, and having a lot of it would just give me freedom. And because I mean, we live in a capitalist society. Let's be honest. Like the more money you have, the easier things are, and you could actually
say that, Shake. I mean, I don't want to interrupt you, Flo. It's like we say that, but we all heard stories of millionaires and just people who make bank that killing themselves. It ain't that cut and dry.
I would rather deal with rich problems than poor problems. But at the end of the day, freaking mental health is something
Mental
else.
health, that's totally different.
And mental health is something else, and money cannot solve. But actually, money can't solve mental health because you can go see the best doctor.
To get treatment.
Okay,
Yeah.
real talk. Yes, you
It can help.
You can enroll. You can
money
go to
is
a
resources, and resources are options. And when you have
you can go to a
options,
monastery.
you can
go to like
anything.
a rehab
Okay.
program.
In terms of the relationship with money, obviously, it's no doubt that money is important. No one's going to disagree with that. But I feel like, is it more important than yourself? I feel like when you weigh it to yourself and integrity and all that kind of shit, I feel like that's where your relationship money comes into play. Like people will sacrifice themselves, people that they love, friendships, whatever, for money. And it's like, is it still worth it in terms of your relationship with money?
But you can't.
What's your relationship with money?
I don't think people would do that. But yeah, go ahead.
What's your
I'm
relationship?
surprised what people would do for money. I mean,
No,
like,
I'm saying all people. Like I'm the type. Yeah, I believe that, but I'm also
Some
the
people
type
will
if
shit
I
on
have
their
a-
friends.
Yeah,
I mean, you
but
see in
that's
TV,
true.
real life
But
news,
not
people
me.
kill people for money. It's nothing. Like family members will
But
steal
you
another family member.
specifically.
What is your
you.
relationship?
With
You
you,
specifically.
what's your relationship with money?
To be honest, if we keep it 100, I haven't made enough money to like correlate a relationship with it. If we really being honest, I haven't really counted a mill enough into that jazz. So
My
I feel
nigga,
like
you
I'm.
No,
you
you
made
don't
money
have
McDonald's,
to.
my nigga. You know how
I
long
mean,
it
but
is?
my relationship with
money,
money is kind
yeah.
of like the same ways similar to Mo's, where it's like it comes in and you have a temporary feeling of just feeling okay because the money's here, but you got expenses, you got shit to take care of, so it goes right back out. You know, so
Okay, Boogie, let me make the question a little more simple for you. Do you think you're good with money?
generally,
It's not the same question,
currently,
but I get it.
the answer would be yes.
Okay.
No. The answer is no. I'm not rich. The answer is no. The answer is no. I in
Yeah,
hindsight,
would it be
yeah.
yet?
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, I personally,
I'm not at the financial position that I would want to be in terms of where I want to see myself at. So I would say I don't manage it good. No,
I don't think you need to be rich to like
Right. To enjoy it.
to have like
no,
a
not
real-
rich, but I'm talking about the fact, like, we all talk about working, right? And I'm thinking about the fact where I just want to work, a small, like I want to do the work that I want to do and get paid the amount of money I feel like I'm valued at, and that's be it. I don't want to be forced to work
Correct.
any more or less than that.
Do you put up?
Okay.
Do you put up like 10%? Do you save? Put up like 10% of your money out of every paycheck just to make sure you have that to the side.
I got like 401k and all the
Like
usual jazz and all
that's-
that, but
what about you personally? Just putting 10% to the side, just to have it to the side.
I
And
take
think
money
that
from a
right there-
paycheck and I put it aside like every pay
Yeah,
period. But
me too.
but no, this is the thing though, y'all. I spend that shit. Like once Christmas time come around, that money's being
Yeah.
spent. So it's
Nah,
like even
so
that
you-
money that I save is getting put to something.
So you've saved up the money for something.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel what you're saying.
So it's
My
like, I
mom
don't
had
know,
a
that
savings
like,
account for Christmas. Like there was a
Christmas club.
Yeah, like a Christmas club or
Holiday club.
an account that she had just for Christmas time. You know.
I don't believe it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't believe in susus and shit. I think susus.
That's a Caribbean thing.
For some people who aren't, no, it's not. This is an American thing too. A lot of people use.
Explain it. Explain what it is. Susu.
Yeah, because I'm in
It's basically when people pool money together every week, and then someone gets, I guess it's called the purse. What is it called when
the hand? We call it the hand. You get the hand.
The handle, and you like it's usually rent. People usually pick by random, and they go in different slots, and then you get the money. You get your money at your time, but you have to make sure you continue to pay. It's like a repayment program. So it could be two different ways for you. If you're in the beginning, basically it's a repayment program, and if you're at the end, you're paying on something, you're gonna get the money later.
Yo, you basically co-signing. You co-signing with a bunch of niggas to get money from them.
Is there any paperwork involved, or is all like verbal?
But you just get the money. I feel like it's only.
That's why it depends on.
I feel like it's advantageous to the people who's getting it early.
Yeah, it depends on who you're doing it with. Why is it only beneficial to the people that get it early?
The people who's getting early, because basically, if I'm getting it late, why wouldn't I just put my money into a bank account and the same amount of money
interest for you,
and let it grow interest, even though it's not really going real interest in these bum ass bank account.
It's not,
but I can put it into a bank account, and then I can essentially do the same thing. And
I mean, I do both. I have money.
Yeah, I mean, the Susu is supposed to guarantee you more money though versus what you originally put in.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's not guaranteeing you anything.
It guarantees the timing of the money.
The timing of the money. So if I've been in Susu that's why for me, I'm not jumping in anybody's susu.
And I don't think anyone allows anyone to come in.
Go ahead,
I have a general, just make sure I'm understanding this right. I have $500. I put this in the susu, right? The objective of the susu is that I'm going to get back more than $500.
Correct.
You're telling me that I'm getting back that same $500.
No. You're going to get that. No, you're going to get back. You're going to get back more than $500.
If it's a 10-week susu, you're going to get $5,000.
Can I do it? Yo,
please,
Boogie,
I want to understand this shit.
We're doing a susu right now on the podcast. There's 6 of us, right? We each putting up $100, right?
For 6 weeks.
For 6 weeks, right? So on week 1, I'm gonna get $600, right? I don't gotta pay nobody. But on week 2, I gotta pay $100 to the pot. Everybody puts $100 to the pot. So on week 2, you gonna get $600, right? And then on week 3, Flash gonna get $600. Now every week, everybody giving $100, and on week 4, Shake gonna get gives $600, right? And then Mo, and then TJ, and then TJ, since she's the last person getting $600, if she don't benefit because she could have saved for 6 weeks, she could have just saved the $100 for 6 weeks instead of getting paid. But it only really benefits you if you're the first person. Like if you got vacation coming up, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to vacation in October. I need $7,000. Yo, I'm gonna do the susu real quick, so I had his money up front, and then I just pay the money back to the homies in the susu. That's how susus work.
For a Caribbean person or someone that is an illegal immigrant, you may not be able to go to the bank and get a bank account. So it's a good way for you to save money with people that you trust. You don't get
you don't get in a susu
like you don't know. I was trying to explain that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like I've been in a susu probably since, and I've been on my job 15 years. Probably since the day that because the person that runs it is my godfather. That's my uncle. It's like that's my godfather. So I'm the type, when I say I get my hand, whenever I say I want to get my hand, I've gotten my hand last. That's how I paid. And to be honest, that's why for my graduate degree, I owe $0 because I use my susu to pay for my graduate degree.
Nice.
So it helped you save the money.
I didn't take out a loan because I used that money to pay, when it's time for me to pay my tuition, I need this for this. This is what I'm gonna need it for. Cause that's when boom, that semester's done. Boom. Okay, this semester is done. And it depends on how many people's in it to depend on the amount. You have some susus that may be 5,000, and if you want to, for instance, like I do a hand and a half, so I get a full hand and a half a hand. Depends on, you could do 2 full hands. So I'm getting,
she's sexy with it. She's She's finessing.
She's make it sound like how it was before.
So if you didn't know what a susu was, now you do.
Yeah. So
I mean, Smoke got a lot of perks though.
Yeah, so
hand and a half and all that shit.
Yeah, and you could go in 2 hands. So that means you let's say that it's 5,000. If I have 2 hands, I'm gonna get 10,000. If I if I do a hand and a half, I'm gonna get 5,000 and then I'm gonna get 2,500. So 7, it depends on how you want to do it. You make it beneficial to you. If you can afford to do whatever, you could do
long
2
term
hands.
saving. That's really
Yeah,
all.
long-term.
Yeah,
And
without
then
interest, without any interest
without
on
interest.
it.
And also, to be clear, I also have, of course, a separate savings account.
Stop
Like you said,
flexing, Mo.
I have
Goddamn, we
money that
know,
comes
Daddy.
directly out of my check
Damn,
that goes straight into savings. So it depends on how you want to.
Go ahead, Mo. Go ahead and stretch them savings and all them accounts, Mo. Go ahead.
I ain't never been in a susu. I don't want to be in nobody's susu.
Yeah, definitely don't sound like something I want to be involved in.
What's your relationship with money, though? Is it healthy? Would you say it was healthy?
Yeah, I have a real healthy relationship with money, though, because I don't think money is everything. I know it's a necessary evil. I know how to utilize it as a tool, as opposed to it's just a resource, how to get what you want. I do feel like you have to work real hard, or not even real hard, but you need it in this society in order to gain things that you want. Will those things make you happy? Of course. But I definitely separate my financial literacy and what I know about money from like things that deal with my happiness and shit like that. That's I usually keep those things separate. So, and I think that's the best way to deal with money, honestly. So, yeah, but just know like each one is important and you get to work on.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, so I'll share my relationship with money. So I want to share with you guys, after watching the movie The Secret, and I reference The Secret a lot, that really opened my eyes to the law of attraction and how you view money.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, we were told credit was bad and, you got to save your money, or you work one job for the rest of your lives. You want to, work until you retire. And that just does not work anymore. I think Mash even mentioned this before we kind of got on live with the episode where he mentioned, he wants to like try to find another job. And a lot of in the culture or growing up, they used to say, stick with a job for the rest of your life. And no, now these millennials, they're taught to work a job for like 2 to 3 years at the most, because that's how you get increase in your pay. But back to
you know that you are a millennial, right? You say these millennials.
I know. Okay. Right? Well, including me, but that's not what my mom was taught, though, right? My mom wasn't taught that. My mom was told, you stick with a job, you work with them until you retire, and you get your
that old school mentality
pension.
was crazy. Like people usually stayed at one company their entire lives. That was it. Back then.
It looked good on a resume, or they would tell you it looks good on a resume. Like you built this company for 15 years, you were loyal. Yes, you have job stability. But what The Secret taught me, which I thought was so important, was think about money as what it can do for you, right? And if you think of it in a negative way, it just never supports you, right? So you should have positive thoughts around money. One of the things they say was envision money coming to you, right? So what I did was I sent all my bills to like electronic bills because I didn't want to get no bills in the mail. Or I would already pay off my bills through like them taking it directly out of my account or let it be linked to a credit card. So anytime I got mail, it was never a bill. And I love seeing checks in the mail. So like, I don't know, my insurance company will sometimes send me money. I have like flexible spending. And so that money comes in the mail if I've like, spent money and it's being returned to me. I love seeing money in the mail. So that's how I look at money. And I think of that example of it. I have a good relationship with money. And I want to look at it as good because I know that if I look at it as bad, it's going to be bad. You know what I'm saying? So I had to change my mindset about money. Someone even said in the video, money grows on trees, and his parents told him money doesn't grow on trees, and he's like, well, money does grow on trees because it's paper and trees come from paper. Like that was his way of trying to change that mentality that he was taught at a very young age. Like money don't grow on trees, you can't afford that, you can't have that, and you have that mentality in your head as you grow up, and it conditions your life. So that's my relationship with money. I try to think of it as positive as possible because I know that your words, it moves things. And I believe in the law of attraction. So with that said, go ahead.
Wait. I want to plug this book that is really good. There's this book that I read and it changed my relationship with money. It's called Your Money or Your Life, and it's written by this woman, Vicki Robbins, and it basically talks about our relationship with money on a basic kind of level. She says, like, we put so much influence on money, but we don't take into consideration how much time we spend acquiring the money, or how much energy we put toward in it, and we're trading money for our time. And
money has to work for us.
It has to be a point where you understand what's enough money. How much money do you need to be you, or to just be self-sufficient, because everyone has a who's or what's it. And the who's or what's it, my who's or what's it is sneakers. Flash who's or what's is technology. Like everybody got one, and whatever that thing is, you can indulge in it, but you have to understand like where your limit is. You have to understand that there's always going to be a new who's or what's it. So how many who's or what's it do you need before you be happy? It's not so much what you have, it's what you feel. But it's a really, really good book, and I'm gonna put it in the show notes. It's called Your Money or Your Life, and I think everybody should try to check it out if you got some time.
Dope. And I also want to encourage people to just be financially literate, investing, getting a retirement, allowing your money to work for you, and most importantly is have life insurance. When you hear this person passed or that person passed and they're starting GoFundMe pages, it just puts families in a burden to come up with this money just to bury you. So it's really important to get a life insurance policy. It doesn't have to be for a huge amount, just enough so that your family doesn't have to squabble over anything and just to bury you. And it's something that we can leave behind for our heirs.
Absolutely. To be honest with you, life insurance policies are a way to build wealth, and believe it or not, there are many people who have built wealth off of insurance. Here's a little tidbit that I bet you that some people may not know, is that you don't pay taxes on insurance payouts, on any insurance payouts, whether it's car insurance, whether it's life insurance. That is tax-free money that you get at the end of the day. So you can definitely build wealth on that. So if you have somebody in your family and you know that they don't have insurance and you can afford to get them insurance, you should probably get them insurance. And it's not to say that, you don't care about the person, but you can definitely build wealth with it. And you should take advantage of it. I'm just saying.
Candy Burris from Housewives of Atlanta, the girl that's also in Escape, she says that she has life insurance policies on some of her friends. Because she's the rich friend, and no shade that her friends are not rich either. But if they come looking to me, it's nothing for her to pay off life insurance. But she's saying they're going to come to her anyway. So here's the money that you got because I got this insurance policy on them. So,
and then she will make herself, I believe she'll probably be at least 70% beneficiary on that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Course. Right? Why not? Right? Her money went into it.
Yeah.
That's all I have for this episode on financial literacy. Money.
Can I plug in one last thing?
Money. What's up?
Just in terms of what we've been talking about, especially on Mash point earlier, in terms of switching professions, everything is that is actually a conversation I had in the past before. Not about switching professions, but how important it is to just keep looking for opportunities, even if you're doing good right now in the current one that you have. So I want to say to everybody working, regardless whether you just got a promotion, whether you've been there for 5-10 years. Put your resume out there, see what other companies are hiring, and you'd be surprised what'll come back. You fuck around and get a better 100%. Job, better position, just better work-life balance overall if you just look for that opportunity rather than being complacent.
Yes.
I just wanted to kind of plug that in, always be vigilant, everybody. Don't stay complacent.
Yeah, that's the word.
Allow your money to work for you.
Yep.
Allow your money to work for you. Invest. I want to get on this other subject, but I'm not going to do it.
Don't take financial advice from us, though, especially Shay.
No.
not yet. We're not ready.
I'm a great advisor. I don't take my own advice, but I'm a great advisor.
That makes you a horrible advisor if you do not take your advice. No.
The crazy shit is, I swear to God, I could tell you all the right things to do with your bread, and a nigga like me, I do all this. I go
risky. You're a risk taker.
Yeah, I'm a risky motherfucker. I get it.
All right,
real shit.
All right, guys. So thank you for listening. Save us if you're listening to us on whatever podcast.
Hold on. I'm so sorry, TJ. I'd make sure we don't want to make sure we miss this. The capricious word of
Yes,
the
go
day.
ahead. What's the tally? Go
We
ahead.
got Shake as the winner with 3. Mash coming in close second
Win.
with 2, and me and Mo tied third place with just 1. So yeah, just want to make sure we shout that out. Shake, capricious being used.
Flash didn't use it one.
Huh?
I don't know.
Not
All right,
one. Not one.
we all take a sip for that. And if you're at
He's
home
being
and you're
capricious today.
listening, go ahead and take a sip or a little puff.
I gotta let y'all niggas win sometimes. It's fun.
Yo, I'm so happy we could do this word of the day though, because I feel like we should
We
learn
can take
a new
shots
word
on it
every
now.
day. Real shit. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right,
Expand our
TJ,
vocabulary.
Yo,
Take us
no,
outta
hold
here,
on.
baby.
Wait.
Take us
wait.
outta
So
here.
Nigga,
segue
Oh my
last
God.
thing.
Fucking shit.
So wait, a listener reached out to me and said she heard somebody use the word wherewithal and she laughed because the first time she heard the word wherewithal was on our podcast.
Aww.
Exactly.
We're going to keep it
Real
up. We're
talk.
expanding our sophisticated vocabulary.
Close it out, guys.
Big facts. We get smarter every week,
Guys,
literally.
Thank you guys for listening to us.
Follow
Save
us.
us on whatever platform you're listening to
Follow
us on.
us.
Rate us all 5 stars or whatever
New
your
episodes
heart
every
desires.
Wednesday.
Like us, comment, subscribe, and follow us. Our social media is the best way to keep in contact with us, interact with us. Drop a comment, like it, share it. You can follow us on IG. It's SoRatchet Podcast. On Twitter, it's SoRatchet Pod. And on YouTube, it's Sophisticatedly Ratchet. You can listen to the audios, and coming soon, we'll have videos.
Google us.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Peace.
Peace, everybody.
Thanks, Tribe, for listening.